What's up everybody, I'm Zach, I'm just a simple chef, and today we're gonna learn how to make pan sauces. This is going to elevate your cooking at home tenfold. It's creamy, it's delicious, and they're wonderful, and they go perfectly paired with their protein. So first things first is we have our shallots. We have homemade chicken stock, Dijon mustard, nice Merlot, unsalted natural butter. And we want to make sure that when we use the butter, it's cold right out of the refrigerator, and that process is going to help emulsify it into the wine and the chicken stock and any other sauces. Baby Bella mushrooms here. Proteins. So I have a chicken breast with rib meat, red meat at the store. So I got a filet mignon, top loin chops, pork, yummy. Sauvignon Blanc, white wine. We have a lemon. We got heavy whipping cream, chive, sage, thyme, and garlic. So we got all of our ingredients and we got all of our proteins, and we want to mise en place everything out before we get started. It's very important because once you start cooking, you want to make sure that you have all your ingredients ready so you're not scrambling and stressed and like, oh my god, something's gonna burn or break or whatever. It's very important. Organization is very key to successful cooking. Alright, so we're going to cube up our butter and get it in the refrigerator so that it's nice and cold to emulsify into our sauces. Here, I fast forward me mincing a shallot. We want to get it as thin as possible, so do your best here. It's not crazy. Same thing with the garlic. Here, I'm rolling out a lemon to kind of pre-juice it before you cut it in half so that it breaks up all the pulp inside the lemon so it's easier to juice. So I do that. You can put it in the microwave for a few seconds, also does the trick. Here I am doing chives really thin, right? We don't want big pieces of items in our sauce. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the sage. So however you can get to the end product, go ahead and get to the end product. And it should look like this. Here, rosemary. Nice and slow, nice and easy. Like that. Here I'm just cleaning off the mushrooms with a paper towel because you don't want to add moisture to the mushrooms because when you cook them they release a lot of moisture. So rinsing them is just adding more moisture to them, so I just clean them with a paper towel. And once again, mincing. Everything uniform, everything needs to be about the same consistency. Here is our bone chicken breast, skin on. We're going to season both sides and clean the cutting board and set it aside so that we can season our other protein, which is our filet mignon. Here I'm just going to tie it because it helps keep its shape. You don't have to do this. I just chose to do it. And now we're going to season both sides with salt. Just a pinch or two each side. I use a nice kosher salt. You really can get a feel for it when you're seasoning things. Here, I'm cutting the back fat of the pork loin to the meat so that when you cook it, it doesn't curl up in the pan.
little trick so your pork doesn't curl and it stays flat. So we got our chicken breast, bone on, skin on, pork loin, and fillet. All of our mise en place. Here we're heating up a cast iron. We put cold oil to a cold pan to get a nice crisp on the skin. Just like that. So now I'm going to make a little bed of aromatics, and this chicken breast is going in the oven for about 20 minutes. Here I am searing the filet mignon, and when I flip it, I put it onto a new side on the skillet. Butter, garlic, thyme, and we're just going to baste it. Just like my steak video. And here we're going to let it rest for at least 10 minutes in its butter. Now we're taking the fond from the bottom of that skillet from that steak, and we're adding shallots. We're going to cook that. Then we're going to add a little bit of garlic. We're going to saute that up, and then we're going to add a couple sprigs of thyme. And we just want to pull them off, get it right into the pan. Super easy. And it's such a great flavor with steak. And we're adding a little bit of chives. And then we're going to add our red wine. And we want to bring this to a boil. And we want to bring it to au sec, where it's almost dry but not. As you can see, I scraped the pan and it wouldn't close back together very quickly. So now we added our chicken stock. We're going to taste. We always taste our sauces and everything that we do. We're going to add a little salt. Gonna add a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, a couple cracks of black pepper. We're gonna get that mixed together, and then here's the final touch: cold butter off the flame. So we're gonna add the cold butter, and there's no flame on this because the cast iron holds the heat, and the sauce is hot, and it's gonna slowly melt the butter and emulsify the sauce, and it's gonna be nice and creamy. So we're going to go ahead and plate the steak. Just a little bit of the sauce. I'm going to lay the steak down. And you can see that's a perfect medium rare. And we're going to drizzle a little bit of the pan sauce over. And we're going to garnish it with a little bit of chives. And look at that. It's beautiful. It's sitting on the plate. It's not flowing all over the place. So here we're doing the chicken. So shallots, garlic. We're going to add a little bit of the sage. Cook that down a little bit. Then we're going to add our white wine. And same thing, we're going to cook this au sec. So if you scrape your spatula across the pan, that the liquid doesn't close back together very quick. That's an easier way. Just like that. We're going to add in our chicken stock, bring that to a boil, and reduce. And same process. Cook it down. Turn the heat off. Add the butter. And slowly work the butter into the sauce until the butter's melted and it's creamy and delicious and yummy. Just like that. Now we're going to slice up the chicken breast, so we're going to take it off the bone. And slice it up, and then we're going to go ahead and plate it and divvy up the sauce, just like the filet. Look at that creamy pan sauce. It's got chicken flavor, it's got the aromatics from the sage, and the butter, and the salt. And trust me, it's delicious once you do this. Being really extra with the sauce. So there you have it. So pork chops. So I render the fat on the back strap of the pork loin. And then we're gonna do each side. And we're gonna do this similar to the filet. We're going to baste it in butter, garlic, and thyme. And we're gonna turn the flame off on this one too, because we don't want to burn the butter. Or not turn the flame off, but pull it off the flame, so not to burn the butter. And we want to just get that melted and basting over the pork chops. And you do this for about a couple minutes, not too long. And then just like with the filet, we want to rest the pork for at least 10 minutes on the cutting board with all of the sauce from the butter. Now we're making our pan sauce for the pork. This one is our shallots, our mushrooms, our garlic. We're gonna cook that down till aromatic. We're gonna add in our rosemary. We're gonna add in our white wine, and we're gonna cook this again to offset or dry. We're gonna add in our chicken stock. We're gonna bring that to a boil, and then we're going to add in our heavy cream. Just like that. And then we're gonna bring that to a boil, get it whisked in, crack a black pepper, little pinch of salt, and turn off the flame and add in our cold butter. And it's simple. It's the same thing for each pan that you do. And you can do this with fish. You can do this with a multitude of different types of proteins. And it comes out delicious. And you really want to keep the sauce moving so that when the butter is melting, it's flowing into all the other ingredients. Now we're going to slice up our pork. And we're going to plate this up in a bowl. Just a couple pieces here, a couple pieces there. And check out how juicy this pork chop is. Amazing. So we're just gonna drizzle our buttered pan sauce all over the pork chops. Yummy. And there you have it. Filet, chicken, pork.
Well, there you go, everybody. Pan sauces. We got the red wine steak pan sauce. It's a little drippy there, but it's tasty. We got the chicken breast pan sauce, and then the creamy pork mushroom pan sauce. So I'm gonna dig with this one first. It looks so good, and I cooked the pork perfectly, super juicy. Get the nice crust on the outside. You get the mushrooms, the salt, the rosemary, the shallots, and the garlic. Oh, it's so good. Alright, let's do the chicken. That little lemon juice does wonders. It's so good. Oh my gosh. Excuse me while I enjoy this. Perfect medium rare filet mignon with a red wine pan sauce. Mm. Mm. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so and hit the little dingle bell. Hit the little bell so you know when I post. I post every Friday. And thank you for stopping by and checking out my videos. Can't get enough. Oh my.